Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Awsaf Rahman, and today is a topic which everyone knows about it, every Muslims, and even for non-Muslims I can also inshallah discuss about it. Basically, I have chosen the topic because I have received a comment that to speak about this particular topic, which is 5 pillars of Islam, and what I thought, okay, yes, I should talk about this thing. I should bring this topic in the video. But also then I have observed one thing, that speaking of the 5 pillars of Islam is quite a very big, huge topic actually. Just talking about like, okay, what are the 5 pillars of Islam now? I should have to discuss in depth over here. So taking that into consideration, I will just begin this one of the mafhum of a hadith, which is in Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. In the Sahih Bukhari, it's in Hadith number 8. That is at the beginning of the Sahih Bukhari, and also in at the beginning of Sahih Muslim, that's a Hadith number 16. Okay. So this Hadith, what it talks about, like this riwayah from Ibn Umar radhiyallahu anhu, the son of Umar bin al-Khattab radhiyallahu anhu. He narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that Islam, the Islam has 5 pillars within it, which it stands on that. And the 5 pillars are: first is proclaiming, bearing witness that there is no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one, and Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the messenger of Allah. That's kalma tayyiba. Second is what is it? Performing the 5 prayers salah, the first salah. Third is giving ilms, that giving the zakah, providing and giving the zakah. Fourth is performing hajj, and fifth is fasting in the month of Ramadan for the whole month. So that's the hadith actually. And now these two hadiths, it has which is one is in the Sahih Bukhari and another one is Sahih Muslim. Now the difference only between that, in both of the hadiths has been narrated by Ibn Umar radhiyallahu anhu. The only difference is that in the Sahih Bukhari, the number 4 mentioned is performing hajj, and the number 5 is the fasting in the month of Ramadan. That is Sahih Bukhari. Now in the Sahih Muslim, in that the number 4 it is mentioned that is fasting in the month of Ramadan, and performing, the last one is performing hajj. That's the only difference actually between these two hadiths. And based on these two differences, the consensus of the ulama, the scholars, muhaddis and the fuqaha, they have chosen this hadith, the Sahih Muslim, based on that they go to on the books of fiqh, they'll for every chapter they'll arrange it accordingly. That's the first is kalma tayyiba, then tahara, then salah, then zakah, then saum, fasting, and then hajj. But Imam Bukhari rahimullah, coming to even Imam Muslim has also mentioned in the book of hadith the chapters in such a way, in this particular order, and all the other muhaddithin have done this way. But the Sahih Bukhari, Imam Bukhari rahimullah, which he has chosen this hadith where the number 4 is hajj and the number 5 is fasting in the month of Ramadan, according to that also he has arranged it accordingly actually. That Kitabul Iman, after this Kitabul Tahara, then Salah, then Zakah, then Hajj, and then Saum. He has arranged it accordingly based on this hadith. So that's the only difference, nothing else. Now, these 5 pillars of Islam, what does it mainly indicate? That Islam, even though the Sharia, it does everything aspect of the all parts of life, every aspect of life the Islamic Sharia talks about, which cannot be ignored. And those 5 pillars of Islam, which is first upon every Muslim, it doesn't mean that that's the only first thing, and there's no first. There are so many other first things, even the Mamla, the Mashrat, and the Akhlaqiyat, everything. The dealings with the business and the family life and the social life, everything. There's quite a lot of first things there. So that cannot be ignored. But why this in this hadith, this 5 pillars of Islam has been mentioned specifically? Because these are all actually a part of our life. These are all the basis of our deen, Islam, actually, for being a Muslim. All right, like praying 5 times a day is a daily task obligated by Allah Subhanahu wa Taala and Rasulullah. Fasting in the month of Ramadan, that once in the year the month of Ramadan comes, and you have to fast for continuously for 29 or 30 days. Once in a year, we have to give zakah. If anyone is becomes a sahib in Islam, has to give zakah actually. That's first. Giving 2.5% of this total amount of money cash he has. And performing Hajj, if one is physically and mentally and financially healthy, then the person should perform Hajj once in a lifetime. So these are very 5 basic emphasizing base of our deen, the concrete aspect. That Islam actually stands on those 5 pillars actually. If anyone falls down, the person, a Muslim, is not a complete person. I mean, there's some fault in that person, that Muslim, that he has not performed that particular thing. He's performed other thing. That he's still not complete. He still has to perform in order to be at least his Islam way of life can stand on its own. And obviously, he has to perform other farais, which is beyond the 5 pillars of Islam. Well, the first important thing is the kalma tayyiba. Saying the kalma tayyiba and along with believing it is obviously, then only that person becomes Muslim. And then followed by that thing, these 4 pillars of Islam, the person has to perform actually, and all that. That's the important emphasis about the 5 pillars of Islam. These all the things which I've mentioned about, I've taken the reference from a book called Tuhfatul Qari, Sharh Sahih Bukhari by Mufti Sayyid Ahmad Palampuri Rahimullah. I have taken reference from there. I have not done so much of research. I checked other hadiths actually because what is the reason I have done that? Because now just speaking about 5 pillars of Islam and just leaving is not enough. Now I have to get into deep actually, because every pillar of Islam, kalma tayyiba, salah, zakah, saum and hajj, there's quite a lot of things need to get into depth actually. And what I've decided that inshallah there will be a series of videos which I'll be speaking over each 5 of them separately actually. Kalma tayyiba, which is the aqaid iman, I'll be talking about that inshallah, and there'll be all the videos will be there related to that, and there'll be a series of videos inshallah. Salah, the most important after kalma, that also I'll be talking about that in inshallah in detail in all that, fazail and masail. And zakah, saum and hajj, all of them I'll be talking about. There'll be separate series for all the 5 of them, which I'll be talking about in depth, in details inshallah. Now taking that into consideration, anyway, iman, the kalma tayyiba, that there is no difference of opinion, that we all Muslims believe in the same thing, except that going much into detail, there are 2 separate schools of thought, Ash'ari, Maturidi, that I will not come to that. Inshallah, that in the future I will talk about that. But right now I will not talk about that right now, because that's quite a highly detailed topic which generally not and the general Muslim masses is not talk about it. But anyway, that need to be discussed, but need to be discussed with due diligence and properly inshallah. That I will inshallah learn and I'll talk about and speaking to scholars. But right now I will not talk about that at that level. The other basics of iman, everything, that I will definitely talk about that, which every Muslim knows about. And then the other 4 pillars of Islam, salah, zakah, saum and hajj. For that thing, actually I follow the Hanafi school of thought, and as you all know, some of you, the viewers who are watching, and some of you may not know about it also, especially non-Muslim, that there are some school of thoughts. There are basically 4 school of thoughts based on jurisprudence, the law, not the law, basically the interpretation of the law from the Quran Sunnah, how it has been interpretation has been done. There are basically 4 school of thoughts: Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i and Hanbali. There are those 4 school of thoughts actually it is. And these all 4 differ in only some minor issues, only of some minor matters, not the major things. Obviously, all those four school of thoughts, they all believe in 5 pillars of Islam. So there's nothing to follow them to follow, which one to follow, not to follow. They are directly following the Allah and Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And all those four thoughts follow them directly. But there's some minor matters. There are some minor fiqh masail where those four school of thoughts differ each other. So why I mentioned about it, because the thing is that since I follow the Hanafi school of thought, and during my until now when during my school days and all that, I've learned mainly into Hanafi school of thought, all the masail, everything. I have not learned anything much in the other school of thoughts. But even though I love learning about the other school of thoughts, other three school of thought, to learn about it, I mean, they also Imam, they've done their very wonderful work along with Imam Abu Hanifa Rahimullah. So in this series of videos, I'll be talking about the Hanafi school of thought actually, mainly. The reason why I'm not able to talk the other three schools of thought, because I have to learn the knowledge about it. I have to read the books. I have to speak to the scholar of that particular school of thought to understand the masail. If I'm pretty much thorough with it, if I've learned the basic of that particular thing, not much into detail, then inshallah I will also talk about that thing. But that is later on in the future, inshallah, on that thing. But it means basically I'll be talking about the Hanafi, the basic Hanafi school of thought, and a little bit detail I will go into that and all. So for that reason, for those who are in the different school of thought, I apologize. I won't be able to speak currently right now. I'm only able to speak the Hanafi school of thought. But inshallah, make dua for me that I learned this other three school of thought, then I will inshallah make a video talking about the masail of other three school of thoughts actually, which will be not only good for you all the viewers, but it will be good for me also actually, that I'm also learning also. And currently right now, what I would suggest, like in the YouTube channel, there are quite a lot of YouTube channel, very good channel, which especially talks about Hanafi school of thought, Maliki school of thought, Hanbali school of thought, and even Hanafi school of thought. You can also watch those videos actually, right? I can learn a lot from them also, because at times I'll also will be watching those videos and learning from them and taking reference and speaking to you all in the video actually. So that's all for today, and inshallah I'll be working on these videos, and make dua for me that I'm able to do work, and I'll work on that and successfully complete that videos, because these videos are going to be a very long series actually, and all that will be, I don't know how many videos it will take, but inshallah I will try to make it short and interesting as much as possible, inshallah. And also keeping that I'm remaining in mind, like inshallah I'll be in the future videos that I'll be talking about those four school of thought at the basic level, like okay, what exactly it is, why it has been created, all that. There is a history behind. Inshallah I will talk about it in future itself. That also need to be addressed and all that, for general masses people to understand that thing. So thank you so much for everything, and remember in your duas, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Anything you have any comment about, please comment below, and anything mistake I've made, I've said something, may Allah subhanahu forgive me, and inshallah we'll meet you again in the next video. Remember in the duas. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.